to be speaking to you here live at the General Assembly Chamber of the United Nations in New York on Peace Day 1989. Before we begin our program, we'd like to explain to you a little bit about the history of the UN. The United Nations was born out of a world war that started 50 years ago this month. Its charter proclaimed the goal to save succeeding generations from the scourge of war. Perhaps the worst sin that we give to the health of our earth is our inability to live at peace with one another. According to the World Priorities Institution, there were 22 wars fought with 1,000 deaths last year. 2.2 million people have died in these wars, but only 16% of them were soldiers. The rest were the innocent civilians. Last year, our world spent almost $1 trillion on military. My question is why? Many experts say that if we took a quarter of that money, put in some political commitment, we could solve the problems we've discussed here today. But yet we squander our money on things that can give us no benefit. Things like the bomb. If this chip represents an atom bomb, it can blow up a city like DC. And if you take a look up there, you see how many of them we have. Now that briefly, very briefly, is the state of our world. But I'm sure the question now is, what are we going to do about it? Well, the UN has invited world leaders to give their Peace Day message on this subject.
この栄えある国際平和デーにあたり、日本政府及び国民を代表して
On the occasion of the International Day of Peace, I'm honored to convey this message on behalf of the government and the people of Japan. As you are well aware, humankind is today confronted with very serious global problems, such as overpopulation, the depletion of natural resources, the destruction of the environment, and poverty. Armed conflicts in various parts of the world also continue to demand our urgent attention. I am convinced that enhanced international cooperation is no less crucial to the solution of these problems than the efforts by the parties concerned. It is therefore both timely and meaningful for young people from all over the world to meet and consider these problems on the very day that the 44th session of the United Nations General Assembly is convened.
Understand, I speak these truths through pure observation. While fear and melancholy spread global from nation to nation, from hunger to pollution to dissension in the ranks, to soldiers and rifles and bombs and tanks. The endless waltz goes on, and it's only composed of 3 beats: war, peace, and revolution. And quickly the positive aspects I'm losing. And I say God bless, because we're running out of the time that we do have left. So stand your ground, raise your arms, and clear your heart of all sorrow. The people lead, the governments have no choice but to follow. September 21st, the International Day of Peace, global ceasefire.